like y'all don't put some serious to the funny. Because even the most
Right.
funniest comedian have serious moment. Look at Dave Chappelle.
Do we think JCJ could possibly be the NXT North American Women's Champion?
No.
Could be. He could.
Damn, Wilkins.
Anything's possible.
He could be.
Wilkins streets. I wonder why Wilkins said why no like that. Somebody adores you, Wilkins. You're a fan, but why you say no like that?
Cause she's like half the she's still building. She's still building. Like I'm telling you this right now. That new title is gonna be a workhorse title. They're gonna put the technical people. Well, she's not a technical person, bro. They're gonna put some like you're gonna be that next up. You're gonna be. If they do this right, it's going to be what the Intercontinental title was back in the Attitude Era, early Ruthless Aggression era. You get that title, that means you next up. She ain't next up. Maybe fourth up. Maybe third.
Wait, I have a question about the U.S. women title. Are they still having that? Because I haven't heard them talking about it.
NXT North American
know.
Championship.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what women's U.S. title that
Same
is.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing.
Actually, it's not, but hers. It's not the same.
North America. Where is the U.S.? North America. Okay. Okay.
But it's not the
But
Yeah,
the
but
North
North
American.
American.
y'all know what I meant. Y'all know what I meant.
We're gonna make sure you get it right.
So what's going on
Anyway,
with that one? Like, what's up with that? Like, I haven't
that's
heard them.
that's what we just said. Your brother said that Jason Jade is not somebody who contends. But do we think we? I'm running off names of people who I think. I think Kalani Jordan is one of them. I think that if they give her more, I think Thea Hale,
Yeah,
because she's a lot smaller. Don't know if she's ready. I mean, she did great in her program for the women's championship because she proved that she can kind of outsmart the best. But I feel like this would be a good entryway for her because she is like Alexa Bliss small. Let's be real. She
I
is
forgot
like
all
Alexa
about
Bliss
Alexa
size.
Bliss. I forgot all about her.
She's coming back soon.
Like, y'all don't put some serious to the funny. Because even
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Watch What Happens NXT before the PLE. That is something I just came up with. Don't steal it. Please don't, because I'm getting better at coming up with my own things. So we into the pre-show before the PLE and Watch Happens NXT before the PLE. Oh, that has a nice ring to it. I'm Yes, me. Quick with the qualms. Long story short, let's get the introductions out of the way. Per usual, it's the honorary wrestling girl, Ciendo B. Here with you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And that's because it's a big day in the NXT universe. Why? Because NXT Battleground is happening today and is coming live from Las Vegas, the UFC Apex Center. Listen, big building, people are filling up. As you can see, if you follow WWE NXT on your social media, you already know they've been piling in. They're getting ready. It's going to be an interesting PLE. So much on the card, so much happening. And I just want to run through a couple of things before the cards happen. Of course, I asked for everybody on their social to drop their predictions. So I know some of you are already coming through with the work. Hey, Matt, family of the show. Welcome to the chat. First in line, as per usual. Hey, baby. We going to get into all that. Listen, you having brunch right now. I didn't have brunch. I was too busy preparing for this, but I have ordered. I'm so excited for this because they opened a Brooklyn dumpling house here in New Jersey. So I ordered that. So I'm going to go get that and I'm going to enjoy Battleground. So I'm excited about that. William, welcome to the show. Listen, there's so much that we have to dive into. There's so much that's going on. But first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to those wrestling girls. Shout out the bosses, Queen PR and Krista B doing their own thing on this platform. Thank you for giving me this platform. And shout out to everybody who's following Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. I think the Instagram is as far as I'm actually going to go. I enjoy doing the Instagram. It's kind of like a crash, like post site. I got going on. I used to join it. It's my baby. There's so much going on especially as far as WWE and in the wrestling world in particular, that I don't really spend my time talking on this platform. But before I even get into the synopsis of the show that we're having, right, I do want to talk about big news. Besides the fact that we have a TNA knockout champion going into Battleground today, we also have a lot of news about contracts. People might be leaving, people might be going, things that are going on. And I'm not somebody that's really big, like huge on like dirt sheets anymore. You know, it's funny. I used to really be big on dirt sheets. That's the weird part. But you know what messed me up? That anonymous Booker thing that was happening. And y'all can put in the comments if you guys remember while I put this music on real quick. I need to find something lo-fi because it's Sunday and we're chilling. Let's see. Maybe daydreaming. Come on. There we go. So I was really big into the dirt sheets, but you know what messed me up? That thing with that guy that literally was going around and spoiling all the matches in WWE. So a long time ago, I think this was back when AJ Lee was champion, like the first reigning champion. Like it was like the longest reigning of Punk and all that stuff that was going on. So this person was going around blowing and revealing all the results of the matches. So ever since that happened, I don't like to read dirt sheets. I don't subscribe. Like if it's on Twitter, the only thing that I found to be a resourceful insider to me is Fightful.com. Shout out to them. But they're the only people that I really follow that's a part of like the you heard it here first, like all that stuff. That because that whole spoiling thing really messed me up. I hate spoilers. I like surprises. So when it comes to reading what's going on in WWE, if it's not coming from the people that I know that are affiliated, if it's not like those type like Fightful sites that are actually credible, I can't really comment on them. But a lot of people, the talk now is that Ricochet has definitely given his exit to leaving WWE, and this. It breaks my heart, but also it makes me really excited because I talk about Ricochet a lot. I feel like Ricochet was definitely somebody who deserved to have a statue of gold around his waist. Like he should be a belt collector. He should be a modern day belt collector. In my opinion, he is a belt collector. He was a North American. He was an NXT North American champion. I was there when he won that match. It was very inspirational to me to see somebody like me have that title. But I also know of his previous past. I know him as Prince Puma. I know him, the documentary that talks about Will Ospreay, and they talk about him at the same time. I know about him. So him going anywhere to me, I think he's gonna do great. I'm gonna watch. I may be doing WWE content, but I do watch AEW. I do tune into Impact. I don't talk about those things unless I'm being talked to them about, but I do tune into all these things. So wherever he goes, I'm going to be fully excited. And I think that should be the overall talk of it. I don't think the conversation of his partner, where she's going to go, because Samantha's also amazing, talented person. She can do whatever she wants, wherever she wants. I don't think the topic of should he go to one brand should be on the thing. No, I feel like the way we treat these wrestlers that no longer are employed with one primary promotion should be allowed to, basically do whatever they want. In my opinion, the talk around it, though, should have been is expected. To me, it is actually overdue because, and there's no shade, no tea to anything they've given him. It's just the simple fact that, like, he won the speed belt. And that's fine. It's a thing they're trying to do, so trying to push. But I was just expecting WWE not to drop the ball and do so much more with him. But like never say never. People come and go all the time. It's normal. It's work. No one's tied to one thing. But I think that the main focus of that conversation should just be happy for him. Like, just remember what you saw of him in WWE, but also take your time, look back at the things he's done before, and you'll see it the way that I see it, that he's gonna be fine. He's gonna do awesome. And like, hell, if he wants to show up in AEW, and listen, Google him and Will Ospreay. Just do that. Me that favor. If you before Battleground, right? Google that. Google Prince Puma. See what you're working with. I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. So again, these conversations, nothing else should matter. The only conversation I should be happening is, great, where can I watch him now? That's it. That's literally be the only conversation. I know there's also some news around Penta. Listen, Penta anywhere. Penta, another guy. I love me some Penta. Wherever he goes, I'm watching. Wherever they utilize him, I'm watching. Whoever's overutilizing him, I'm going to watch that. It's just as simple as that. When it comes to your favorite superstars, you want to be invested in that way. So that was my little tidbit on that. Some other news is that NXT Heatwave is upon us. Right now we are in June. That means we are T-minus 4 weeks away from NXT Heatwave, which is happening at Money in the Bank weekend. Listen, there's so much into that weekend that's happening in Toronto. Your girl is definitely making plans to be over there, finalizing some things right now to make that a reality. But it's going to be exciting because tonight, like I said, the landscape. Oh yeah, 1000% to this comment. She might show up. So that's another thing that I'm banking on. Like, today is Battleground. Listen, I love me some Jordan Grace and I love me some Roxanne, but the main focus after this PLE is definitely going to be, when is Julia showing up? And it's going to be a pretty big freaking deal. Like somebody of her caliber, it's going to be a huge deal. One thing I want to take away is the talks are not over. The conversation is not over. I also, a lot of people that are getting their contracts renewed, people don't understand why people are just not like, hey, why are they letting their contracts run out? Like even Natalya, who's been such a big part of NXT, why is she letting her contract back out? Why is she letting her contract run out? And as of now, it's reported that she's not even WWE talent right now. But again, another woman that is just one of the reasons why she's the best of all time is she got so much going on. She runs an entire wrestling school. You know, she runs an entire wrestling school. She's inspired many. She's done so much. She hasn't said a word, and that's another thing I want people to be careful of. They're talking about all these things and no one said a word. Leave it alone for now. I may have said a whole spew about Ricochet, but that's because I got my love for him hit different. Okay, but let's see what happens. Nayu is a big part of what's going on with NXT right now. She may sign a dotted line at midnight. She may change her mind. You just don't know. There's so many people that are not there right now. Becky Lynch out of contract. We hear Alberto is also talks of maybe not renewing his contract. May not be in there. Listen, again, let's just see what happens. Just watch what happens. Like you watch what happens NXT every Tuesday. So that's that plug right there. But like I said, I want to see tonight my biggest thing to watch, besides all these great matches they have lined up, right, is how is this going to change the landscape of NXT as a brand. I mean, we changed it after TakeOver. We changed it after Stand Deliver. We changed it with Trick Williams becoming the champion. We changed it with Roxanne becoming the third ever two-time NXT women's champion. We changed it with bringing in a whole new title for the women to compete with. New talent showing up, people changing brands, people going back to see what's there for them. So there's so much that goes into it. I personally also shout out to King Von. We both talked about how we couldn't wait for this week's Battleground because this is definitely a game changer. This is gonna be a big night, and I like that a lot of attention is being put back on NXT. Well, it should have been on NXT a long time ago, but it's being put on NXT as like, hey, this is something you need to watch, something you need to pay attention to, because it is. It simply is. Everything that's going on, it simply is. And I talk about it every Tuesday, 6:15 on a dot on all of those Wrestling Girls streaming networks. Listen, we can go into this session and have a whole argument if you need to about why NXT isn't important. But it is important, and you know it's important. So without further ado, I'm going to be bringing in some huge points Going to be talking about the great matches that are happening, mainly this one, because I have my breakdown analysis on all these ladies. It's so hard for me to pick a winner when there's such a great card stacked against me. But y'all gonna help me do that in the comment section, so I'm not even worried about none of that. So real quick, gonna take a quick breaky achy to drink this water because I just started in front of y'all about 4 different times. But I'm gonna talk about something that I'm gonna kick the show off with, and that is the evolution of the new and improved I Don't Care Roxanne Perez. So let's talk about it. It's gonna make me hard to hate her, and it's like I said, like it literally like. And I understand, like and Josh was with me when I said it. I said, "Girl, like, and you lost your belt, and again, water's wet, and the sun is on one side and not on the other. We know all this, like, you know, there's war in other countries, like we know, like get to the point, like what you about to do?" And then she finally did it.
In that promo, even when she was like, "I lost my title, and like I passed out, and for 12 months," I was like, okay, so. We've seen so many people lose their title and not get another shot back. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I like, and this is when I mean I need her to really be heel. I almost need her to change her moveset. I want Carmelo to also. I'm like, I don't want to see all that exciting high flying shit. Just start beating bitches down. Make me mad.
Yeah,
Stop
I need you to pull up.
Like,
we're back. Sorry about that technical difficulty, but it's okay. Like I said, we're going to be diving into the card, but real quick to the comment section. Yeah, we already know King, like Shawn Michaels is Booker of the Year, y'all. He winning. He winning on all aspects of the game. He's not losing that title. Like, he's just Mr. Booker of the Year. Like, and again, if you watch Next Gen, you would know the work that gets put into him doing all this stuff for the NXT brand. It's not just him coming in and playing producer. Like he's him and Triple H are on the same boat. They're coming in, they're looking at the money, they're looking at their budget, and they're saying, okay, how can we flip this around? What can we do? And it's not easy because, like I definitely think there's a place where if everybody can come back in and out of WWE, they could. And now we're in that place because we have one person who's literally walking in with her belt on the line. Definitely has something I want to touch on because I did see online that the person that's in this match is inching to give an open challenge for her TNA championship belt, knockout championship belt, my apologies, at their pay-per-view Against All Odds, which if you're not watching TNA pay-per-view, TNA's pay-per-views be hitting. I don't know. Listen. As somebody who's like really back into wrestling, some promotions, like you, after a while, sometimes you get so used to the spectacle and the awe and the glam of WWE that when you want to bring yourself to, like, I want to say, passion and real talent and normalcy of some sort, you're gonna watch TNA, you're gonna watch AEW, you're gonna watch your local indie wrestling places, you're gonna go to your local indie wrestling shows. You just gonna do it. Like, it don't hit any different with going to an indie show for me than it would be going to like a house show for WWE. That's just my opinion. Like, going to like a Sunday beatdown match is not gonna hit anything different for me. I just think that it's much easier for me to enjoy those things because, like, the crowd is different, the vibe is different, the people are different. So when it came to a TNA, I have not been to a TNA event yet. I do definitely plan on going to one. 1,000% in the future, because I believe in supporting. Sorry, y'all, it's Sunday outside. I believe in supporting local talent. I believe in supporting local shows. I believe in supporting anybody putting their body on the line to wrestle. But when it comes to TNA, Jordynne Grace, if you look at her record, she has done so much in TNA already. So freaking much. She's a 2-time champion. my favorite match with her personally is her match with Naomi when she was Trinity, and also a match she has with a young lady named Deonna Purrazzo. I know you guys are familiar with who Deonna Purrazzo is. Right now, she's with AEW, but when she was in TNA, man, they used to tear the house down. Another great match that I think that everybody should Google is a match she actually has with her husband. Like, she's married to Joshua Gershom, who's well known from Ring of Honor. Right now, he's scoping out. I don't know if he's in Ring of Honor because he was with the whole transition with Ring of Honor going to not TNA, to AEW. But she actually had a match with her husband. I think everybody should watch it. I think everybody should Google it. I think that yes, Jonathan Gershom. Sorry. I think that anybody that should literally just Google that match. Like, it's just an interesting match to watch because it's like, maybe you could say fought their husband. Some people you could say fought their husband. I think it's an interesting dynamic. I want to go into it probably when I'm talking about Roxanne Perez a little bit more, but it's just interesting to see that they picked her. And you know, from her premiere in the Royal Rumble, I enjoyed it. I think it was great that they did that for her. I think it was great that they featured her. I think it was great that they gave her that spot to say, she was like, I'm coming for your belt. Do I think she's gonna win? I don't know. They were doing a little banter back and forth online, you know, and Roxanne has also been to that pinnacle too. Like, you forget, Roxanne is no small chicken. And that's why I want to talk about her transition a little bit, because she's not a small girl. Like, she's done a lot at her young age. Youngest Ring of Honor Women's Champion, already been in matches with TNA, already done matches on Impact, I should say, Ring of Honor, first ever breakout tournament winner, first ever deadline winner, you know, youngest NXT Women's Champion. The resume stacks itself so high. But you also have to keep in mind, this is the same girl who, how she lost her title was going against the final boss. I mean, she Tekkened her whole match, right? It was like playing Tekken and watching the character who won by fatality pass out, because that's what it was. Like, she's going through some self-opponents. I think that's what's probably going through her head. She's basically saying, my world is colliding. Like, I'm not gonna have another roadblock moment again. That's not happening. It's not happening on my watch. It's not how I feel about it. Real quick, shout out to Karsha. Hey, Karsha. She just might have to. 1000%. She needs to do something. It's whether it's use the cable box, whether she has to do the pop rock twice into a crib, she has to do something, because she's gonna wear herself out. We've been here before. She was here at Roadblock. She had her belt up until then. She needs to walk out on her 2 feet, because I don't think that this is any small matter at all. Not one point of me thinks there's one small given matter. Jordan Grace is no joke. But Jordan Grace is also not perfect. So this also could be a test for Jordan Grace. Who do I think will step up to her open challenge? I don't even think it may be Roxanne. Could it be Roxanne for the sake of longevity? I hope so. That would be really cool, to be quite honest, for the sake of longevity and longevity only. Like, it would have to make perfect sense. Could be a Natty, because Natalya has never stepped foot in TNA. It would be great. She's also not signed, and I would hate to say, it has to be someone who's not signed, but yeah, to make it make sense, it kind of does. So they can have that free range. A lot of people agreeing she has to do anything to keep up that title. Listen, I just don't want her to pass out again. I kind of came for her on the skill of, listen, you keep talking about that, oh, I lost my title, and I lost my title, and blah 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 blah. And girl, you basically did the same thing before we found out who your opponent was, but I'm gonna forget that, because you actually backed it up with facts. You not caring about the fans has made her a better athlete. Listen, it made her 10 times better. She's come up with any challenge. You know, her promo work has even gotten better because she didn't call 20 different people stupid. I just think that this just floats her boat so well to be a heel, and I can't be the only person thinking that. I think it bodes very well for her to be a heel. It just makes a lot of sense. Like, this should have been something that was done a while ago, but I understand greatness takes time. In order for you to prove you're your overall self on the big brand, you kind of have to be a heel. Because right now we're looking, like I said, we're looking at, like, if we're looking at her what's going on, if we're looking at the person before her who's impressed, it's like, yeah, Shawn Michaels done passed out a bajillion times, child. You can't even count the amount of times that Shawn Michaels has passed out, because I don't remember them now. Like, that one time he passed out costed him enough. But I don't think he was able to get his belt back after that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think that, and it's hard to say I don't know where my predictions lie with that one. So I'm gonna come back to that. So I am, however, going to go into my next segment of everything, which is, give me a second, having some technical difficulties, y'all. We're back. I am going to go into more predictions when I come back from this commercial break, so stay tuned. I hate that talk that North American Championship is like a basic championship. That's like, that's so out of the win for me.
You know what? You just proved the point. Dominic Mysterio is the best heel in wrestling right now. He was the North American champion who gets booed. He got booed at his own wedding, right? So it's like, it's all the thing. It's like, so how can you call that title? How can you call that title just like basically like nothing in a sense, right? Where it's a consolation prize when the best heel in the business, and that's just not just WWE, that the best heel in the business, in the wrestling sport, in the wrestling business, had the title for X amount of time, and he did a duel, right? He brought it to Raw, brought it to SmackDown, right? And NXT, but also circle back to your point where representation and Black athletes within NXT getting the North American title, honestly, I think that's incredible, because you know what? Again, not everybody can be the champion, right? And there's only X amount of opportunities, only X amount of belts. So it's like the fact that we're seeing a lot more African American men get opportunities to be a title holder, to see how it looks on them, to see how a run with them would look, and a lot of them has successfully converted to main champions. Keith Lee had both of the titles. I was there. Like I filmed the match. Like, it's one of those things where to me that, but to honestly, everybody that was at Full Sail when we take that night felt that energy in the room when you saw Keith Lee, and then you saw that man hold up both of them titles, and you realize nobody's ever done that before.
Right. It's just like the moment. Like, it's, and I get people want more. Like, more is coming. Like, I remember watching, like I said, Carmelo Hayes. I remember watching him win the North American Championship, and then I'm at home, you know, as bright as day, watching Stand and Deliver, and boom, he's main eventing, wins the belt, and has like the most respectable handshake, and he's literally, that is pride. Like, that, listen, that's history in the making. So I wouldn't, even if it takes that belt to make it happen, I'm gonna watch it happen. I don't care what anyone says. Like, even like for a second, like Oba being, you know, somebody who was that short term in WWE, even though we know he wasn't really short term, but for him to have his heritage behind him, using the fact that he's the Nigerian ruler and all that gimmick stuff. Listen, we feed off that shit. I make a joke. We're back the way we're supposed to be. I'm going to get into that really quickly because I do want to talk about this match is exciting to me because of the people that are involved. And we are talking about the North American Championship being on the line. As you can see, there is Obafemi, your current reigning and defending NXT North American champion. But also to his left, you have the return of the Cardiac Kid, the kid who made the belt one of the prolific belts to have of all time, the kid from the West Side, Mr. Busley. You also have on the right someone who is a total slobber knocker, as JR would probably call him if he was there still calling match in WWE. The boys, the roughneck himself, Mr. Coffee. I just think that this match is going to, and an interesting thing, a lot of people want to keep putting Oba in three-way matches. Y'all don't think he could do that by himself? You think it's like, okay, we don't need one person to take him out. We kind of need to. Like, y'all just keep. This is his second. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's his second third-way match. First third-way match he had with the title on the belt. The title on the defense. Sorry, was with Dijak and Josh Briggs. Also a great match. But now he's dealing with a high flyer and someone who punches hard. So the test to me is that y'all don't think you could take Oba by yourself. So you think you need two people to try and bring him down. It is interesting to see. I am all here for it. At the end of the day, listen, it's Oba Femi we're talking about. He's the ruler, but it's also a pickle because, of course, you have people rooting for Wesley because he was supposed to have that opportunity at deadline, didn't get it because of his injuries. And they also have somebody in Coffee that literally should be running with a championship by himself. It shouldn't be just Gallus having tag team championships. No, he should definitely have a belt. If you've seen him in NXT UK, you've seen how he's just like, you know who I think he should be in a tag? You know how I think he should run with? He should have been running with somebody like Sheamus. Maybe it's just me that always thought that. I thought he would, and with like the whole angle they had with Rich Holland, I thought Rich Holland would join them, but that's not the case. That's not what happened. But I'm gonna hold on to my prediction for that as well because I just think that Oba Femi's reign on the North American Championship has really been the ruler era for that championship. It's not just the high flying who's next up title. Of course, we know that, you know, Oba Femi is next up. He's somebody that's about to be in championship matches. He's somebody that when Braun Breaker is tired of spearing people that aren't his size, he gonna try and do that with Oba, and they're gonna just tear the ring down. Ain't gonna be no ring. It's gonna fall. But in my opinion, this is a great way to showcase. Keep giving me more Oba Femi. Like, he should have a title reign every single PLE. Do I think Wesley's gonna take it off his hands? Do I think that Coffee has a chance? I don't know. We will find out. Another match that I'm going to talk to about on the card. Obviously, these ladies. Listen. Where do I even begin with this match? I mean, you have a young lady by the name of Lola Vice who's literally been in the center that she's going into. She's been literally been in the UFC Apex before. She's been doing MMA. She did UFC. She's won in UFC. But then she's going up against somebody who knows what MMA technique is like the back of her hand. The person who retired Ronda Rousey. That's the story they went to. I'm sticking with it. The person who retired Ronda Rousey. The woman who was made in the NXT underground. The person who was made in NXT, homed in NXT, is a two-time champion in NXT. You got to go against somebody like that. Listen, Natty was one person, Lola. Shayla's a whole nother boat you going up against. But then again, when it comes to Shayna, I wouldn't sleep on Lola. They didn't give that girl the breakout contract. That girl did not get the breakout contract. She did get it by cheating. But if we're gonna talk about somebody who worked to that pinnacle, she didn't get there by herself. She didn't get there without hard work. That girl busts her ass. Like, she's ready. She's not playing games. Yes, she likes to dance. Yes, she has to have fun. People are starting to like them some Lola Vice. Her mic work has never been a problem for me. I've enjoyed her mic work. I wish her feud with Elektra Lopez had gone longer because that was interesting. They were a dynamic. It was kind of like teacher student, and then the student's like, you didn't get me here far. I got me here far, that type of thing. But there's a fine line between her taking her career seriously and then her whooping ass. Tonight she whooping ass. I'm sorry. Her hair was braided up. Listen, y'all already know when the UFC girl when they braid their hair up, it's a wrap. Shayna, I don't expect her not to come in with that same energy. I just expect for this to be one of the best NXT Underground matches that I've ever witnessed on a PLE, and I cannot wait. These women are doing it better than the men. Let's be honest. These women are doing it better than the men, and I'm excited to see it. I'm excited for it. I feel like it's going to be a surprise here and there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be seated back, like I said, with food, waiting to see what happens. Also, what I'm waiting to see what happened with is the fact that we are going to have the tag team titles on the line. You have the Good Brothers, the OC, Mr. Anderson and Mr. Gallows, one of the longest running tag teams in WWE, decided to come down to NXT a while back. They came down before Stand and Deliver, to be honest, and they put themselves in the contingency of saying, listen, we can get all the belts. We've done it before. We'll do it here. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then the interim, what then happened, Nathan Frazier and Axiom found themselves to not be enemies anymore, but be tag teams, which is, again, interesting. They went up against each other back in... they went up against each other during Deadline, and I thought that was a really great match between them. But to see them being a tag team is just so much more interesting. And I don't know how long it's going to last, though, because it's Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. There's two people with chemistry right now. They're taking a break from AJ Styles, giving him his piece and his space. And I think this may be the time that they do become NXT champions. But I also think this is a match that's going to test Axiom and Nathan Frazier beyond their limits in the best way possible. This is also a tough match to call for me because it will be good. Like, there's not a lot of good tag teams in NXT yet. All your tag teams, the best, one of the best tag teams were the Wolf Dogs, and now they're separated. Another great tag team that was there were the Creed Brothers. They're doing their thing on Raw. You got I think they're called Hank and Tank. I hope they're called Hank and Tank. I hope I'm not saying it wrong. You got new ones forming up in NXT Level Up. You got Malik and Idris, who I hope, if this goes the way it's supposed to go tonight, no matter who wins tag team titles, give them men a chance. Give Idris and Malik a chance. If I have to start a hashtag for this crap, I will do it because they deserve a chance. Like the whole, like they run in the storyline with the whole bad luck and all this stuff that's going on, because their luck needs to turn around. They need to literally win. So that's the one thing I'm going to be looking forward to watching tonight. Hey, Kofi. Ciao. What's going on, you guys? Listen, drop your predictions in the chat. Don't forget to drop your predictions in the chat. Shout out to the Dirty Hills podcast. It's just, I need the landscape of the NXT tag team divisions to change the way that the women's tag team is changing, because there's not a lot left right now. Like, you don't have that many teams. Listen, they're supposed to be doing stuff without the mud. And I understand their leading lady is right now trying to get on her own. Great. Can you do something without the mud then? Like, can we do something without the mud? Can we do something with Malika? Can we give a belt? Can we get Tony D'Angelo to leave, Stacks and Crucifino to come and get the belt? Something needs to happen with the tag team division. It used to be hot. I needed to sizzle again. So that's where I'm leaving with that. What else? We got one more match to talk about before, of course, I'll talk about the big match, and that is this match. This match. Can I just tell you the stack on this match? This card, the face card, the match card, the card. Don't decline. It's not card. It's not giving debit. It's giving credit. It's giving American Express. It's giving a frequent flyer miles type card. It don't decline. Okay. It's giving black card. First, literally giving black card. You have Fallon Henley, Sol Rocco, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, and Michin, aka Mia Yim, going up for the first ever. This beautiful title that is on the line, that it was given and shown to us by our general manager, Ava. along with Miss Sexy Red, who is hosting NXT Battleground tonight. I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm excited to see her have more interaction. Make sure nobody's stealing no more belts like Joe Coffey tried to steal the other night. She is hosting NXT Battleground, and as you can see there is the beautiful North American Championship unveiled. That's what these ladies are going for in a ladder match. Listen, they had a combine. The combine kind of showed us who was going to be at the top. They had the top at the combine. The top 12 had a combine. They had a tournament match to determine who's in this match. 6, and you have the ladies that I showed to you there. Listen, I'm so happy that WWE decided to do this at Pound Town Battleground. If they start using her theme song at the beginning of the show, I'm going to die of laughter. I'm letting y'all know right now. I wish I was doing a live show just so I could see how it goes, because that's how funny I think this shit is. I think that what's going to happen is, like we talked about in the beginning clip, shout out to the Jabba GS podcast when I talked to them, it needs to be it's going to be a workhorse title. It's going to be. But the NXT Women's Championship belt is also a workhorse title. But I think this is the belt that everybody's going to go after every single night when they know they can't go after Roxanne. They're like, fine, all right, you won the belt. Give me yours. Because that's the type of energy we want for the women. That's what we've been asking for. Give us more belts. Like we asked for the 24 championship to maybe turn into an Intercontinental championship. WWE said, meh, not really. But then they gave us this beauty. And it's a great start because now it makes it worth fighting for. These 6 ladies that are in this match are going to literally be fighting to be the first. And it's important because you have so many choices there. You have people that deserve to be champion that have never been champion, like Lash deserves to be a champion 1000%. You have somebody like Fallon Henley who's already been the tag team champion. If she's been a tag team champion, what's to stop her from being a women's champion? With the North American Championship, what's stopping her? You have somebody who has proven time and time again that they can do it all. They shine, they stand out. Somebody like Kalani Jordan, who's been standing out since she showed up in NXT. Somebody who I think that should be champion, that's going to be a champion, that's going to be a workhorse, in my opinion. You have somebody like Jada Parker, who is off the hype, who is not about to play. Like, she wants that belt. She looks like she's the type of girl that's going to go in and go get it. She got to go get it. You got to go get it. You got to go get it. You have somebody like Michin, who is iconic in her own right and outside of WWE. And like she said, she made NXT, was part of that big change. You know, she competed in the Mae Young Classic. She was in NXT. She's gone through some hard matches. So she knows what it takes. So she definitely has a one-up on everybody. Right? And then you got somebody who missed so much of their months because they were injured by somebody who was jealous of them. I think. Listen, I think Blair Davenport was jealous. I think that's why she started knocking bitches out. But someone that literally proved she was the highest score in the combine. She jumps, she leaps, she shoots, she scores, she does all this. Someone in Soroko who literally it takes her one big move to climb to that ladder and get that belt, and she's fast. You gotta catch her. She's like a Pokemon. Like you gotta almost like try. If you don't catch her, you don't catch her. So it's gonna be interesting to see which one of those sisters. But I definitely agree with my boy Matt. They're gonna steal this fucking show. They're gonna steal the whole effing show. The whole effing show, like Rob Van Dam would say, because there's no match. There's gonna be a first. There's nothing like the first being the first champion. You're the first stamp in a history book of a legacy that could continue, whether it be for years, whether it be for a few months. It's like you literally get the chance to put on a showstopper. It's gonna stop the show. You're gonna have that, like that arena is almost like being at an NXT, but you're in Vegas. It's like being at the Capitol. It's like being at the Capitol Wrestling Arena. It gives that vibe. It gives pandemic vibes, to be honest. There's a few seats in there, but that's because there's everybody watching like homegrown MMAs who's going to be next up in MMA. That's what the UFC Apex is used for. It's going to literally be one of the most memorable matches of the night is going to qualify for match of the year. Y'all know I don't do Dave Meltzer ratings. I don't do him. I don't mess with him. He don't gel with me. I don't care how he rates this match. Is going to steal the show. And everybody agrees. There's no stopping it. It's going to be a showstopper. Another match that's going to have great effect on how the landscape of NXT may change is this one. Listen, if you don't know who Ethan Page is, you get to know him. Go on, watch what happens in NXT. Click on that post that says who is Ethan Page and learn who he is. He's somebody who has the career that would model, you know, your AJ Styles, your Daniel Bryans, your CM Punks. He's been in every single promotion possible. 17 years later, he lands the place where he always wanted to be. He knew he was going to go. The same vision that Mercedes Moné has said that, listen, in wrestling can't all be in one place. I can go wherever I want and come back whenever I want. Ethan Page has done it. I remember him. My most memorable thing about Ethan Page, before I get into what I feel about this match, is that Ethan Page was the guy who was a tag team with Josh Alexander in Impact, and they were called the North. And their tag team, they raised the bar for tag team because they went up against everybody. They were up against everybody in Impact. And then fast forward, he gets to All Elite Wrestling, and everybody's excited because they know he's talented. He's of course, we know him as tag team specialist, but what can he do on his own? Him and Scorpio Sky link up. That was interesting. I thought it was great that he was a part of American Top Team. I like that faction a lot. He was always built up to be an interesting storylines. He had a brief thing with Stokely. They called themselves the Firm, and they were the ones that were responsible at one point for keeping the title on MJF. At one point, he went up against MJF. It's so much that he's done in his career. He's been in Ring of Honor. I vividly remember him in Ring of Honor. He's done so much. So for him to get here on this landing pad, and that's what I wanted to tap into when I put out my tweet with the advisement earlier. There are people that took offense to what Triple H said at that Pat McAfee when they were in the WWE world. And when Triple H said that, listen, if you don't have what it takes, you don't think you have what it takes, don't come here. If you do, we're here. He was opening the gate for a lot of people, and one person took offense. A couple of other people took offense to it because they weren't there when Triple H was there. And that's my biggest reason. They took offense to a comment that Triple H made because they were probably there at a time where Triple H was not running things fully. Yes, I understand that Triple H might have been banging on your door, telling you, listen, I have an opportunity, come take it. He might have been sending you flowers, chocolates, whatever. He might have been at your house meeting your kids and telling you how bad he wanted you. But if you don't take that step, what the fuck are we supposed to do with that information? What am I supposed to do? That's like saying if somebody offered me $1 million, right now, knowing everything I got going on, offered me $1 million, right? And I hesitate on taking that money. And then somebody tells me, well, if you broke and you need the money and you're not doing what you need to do, you're not asking for help with the money, that's that on you. If I take personal offense to that, that's a me thing. That's an inner me thing. That's not my job to go out and make jabs about the person who made that comment. No, because it's a me thing. Because I hesitated on taking $1 million. And that's how I feel about that situation. There were so many people who were offended by that being said, but other people saw it, listened to it, thought about it, slept on it, ate with it in their brain, and they said, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should make a change. They watched so many people that were considered faithfuls to literally go to another brand and come to their brand. Like the people that said they would probably never go back to wrestling went back to wrestling. The people who said that WWE was the place that made them left that place and went somewhere else. It's been something that's been going on for the last 5 years, right? So if you're still watching that happen and you sit there and you know your opportunities are far and wide, you're young. You could still do this. You can still do that. You can get up at the ass crack of dawn and still work out. And there's an open opportunity for you to go somewhere else and do something great. You'd be crazy not to do it. You'd be absolutely crazy not to do it. That's like me saying that if I did not have a chance to learn how to do a podcast or to run a show and learn production, I have cameras that I don't even use anymore. This camera that I'm speaking to you on right now is a camera I used to shoot photography with. If I had the opportunity to have my own show and I don't take that opportunity, that is the worst mistake I can make for myself. That's me holding me back. That's me holding me back. If I know I can do something more, I'm going to go and do more. So when Ethan Page showed up on Tuesday, when I tell you I screamed because I was so happy. Granted, it wasn't the reaction he got when he went to AEW because it was AEW. It was somebody else joining this brand new shiny team of people and real wrestling and not these weird gimmicky storylines. You have like an actual wrestler coming to a wrestling show. But I popped for him in WWE because now I'm like, whoa, he was Ring of Honor, Impact, TNA, AEW. This is now 1, 2, 3, fourth promotion is WWE. What can he do here? Because if anybody who's ever watched AEW who's watching my show right now, because I do have people and shout out to them, they support me no matter what brand they don't like or like, they do support me and they do watch the show. They know what I'm talking about. They know for a fact that man was not being utilized fully, and it's okay. That's how that promotion ran. They have great matches. They showcase all the great wrestlers they can, but times change. People rotate. Not everybody wants to stay in the same place. It's not hard to understand. You don't leave your family and make this life for yourself for nothing. Some people, listen, if some people have been honest, they after the bag. Good. Great. Let's see what you could do in the WWE. Let's see what you could do in AEW. Let's see what you do in Impact or TNA. Let's see what you could do, because at the end of the day, you putting on for one thing and one thing only, and that's for the fans. Because that's the people that's going to support you and watch you, buy your merch, hashtag you when they think you're not getting a chance, boo you when they think you stink. Those are the only people whose value mean anything. So where you land does not matter. What you do, however, is what everybody is going to be paying attention to. The worst thing you could do is put yourself in one place. And I get that people, have families and situations, and I don't want to put any cloudation on that. People have situations they feel like they have to take priority over. That's fine. Let's not shit on the people who don't have those same priorities. Let's not get angry and upset that people don't understand your priorities. They don't understand your priorities. Fuck them. They're where you're at, right? But if you know you can move from one place to the next willingly and have an opportunity of a lifetime, take that opportunity. Don't be afraid to take that opportunity. I'm maybe 15, almost hitting 16 episodes into Watchwhathappennxt NXT. Who knows where I'm going to be after episode 100. I might not be able to do it anymore. I might be doing it on a completely different platform. Hell, I might be changing the name. But if I don't take the opportunity to grow this show and myself as a content creator, what am I doing this for? I do this because there's people that love NXT, like the people that are in this chat right now. Every single person who's in this chat that has been talking, I'm put their names up here. Every single person who said hi, hello. There are people who are here on a Sunday that want to hear what I have to say about Battleground, because is anybody else doing Battleground predictions? Maybe they did it last week. Maybe they did it this morning. Good for them. But I'm me, and I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. And I think I understood when Ethan Page started putting out tweets, and people like Jordan Grace, who got invited to the Royal Rumble, didn't even have to do a thing after that, but said, hey, if they like me here and they're giving me the opportunity to call myself still the TNA champion, and they want to see me on TV more in WWE, I'm going to go and I'm going to take the chance. Plain and simple. Just like Sasha Banks said, listen, if I can go wrestle someone else, I'm going to go wrestle somewhere else and someone else. I'm going to go to Japan. I'm going to make it a big deal because I'm a big deal. I'm going to go to AEW because AEW gave me whatever I needed, tools I needed to be myself. And I'm going to do it until I don't feel like doing that. And I'm going to find someone else to do. Because that's what the wrestling brain does, right? That's how wrestlers have to think. You think these people that got sat home and released, you saw what Dolph Ziggler did. You saw what Mustafa Ali did when they got their releases. You see some of the people that are already up on 30 Day Clause NXT. One of them wrestled at One of them changed the name that she actually wanted to have in WWE is going by that name. And it's wrestling in reality of wrestling. They didn't stop wrestling because like, oh my God, woo's me, I can't wrestle because this promotion don't want me no more. You're gonna really let that stop you? Don't let anything ever stop you. Ever. Never. People could have told Trick Williams that he would never be NXT championship, and he could have sat home and decided, I guess I can't be Mello. I guess I can't do this. I can't get beat Dragunov. Nah. He said, that title is mine. I'm going to change this brand. I'm going to change the landscape of NXT. And now he's a champion. And now he's going to fight somebody who thinks they could do the exact same thing. We know he was behind the attacks going on with Ormensa and basically being a menace to Metaphor. But I find it interesting that might also play a factor in tonight's match. Thank you, by the way. I know that was a bit of a ramp. I wanted to go into it because I think it's unfair to just not look at what's going on in wrestling right now before I go back into this direction. It's changing. This is the things that are going on in wrestling right now, whether it be wrestling, sports entertainment, crossovers, forbidden doors, lines drawn, lines crossed. I don't care what it's called. What I like is that we're having the talk of the territories that I see in books and all these things that are happening. They're happening again, but they're happening in the way they should happen. No one's undermining anybody. No one's trying to buy one promotion from the other. No one's trying to do that. And I enjoy it this way. I enjoy having 4 brands that I can watch on my own because yes, I do watch a little bit of New Japan here and there. I enjoy Stardom still. I like that I can have 4 brands to choose from. I like that I can learn other things that are going on. I love that I can go, if there's nothing going on, go to a Battle Club Pro show. Shout out to them. Job is Sam coming soon. Make sure you get your tickets. Big announcement on this platform coming up about that. I like that there is a Joshi wrestling promotion that's coming back to New York and they had their first show in New York. I love it all. If you're not into it and passionate about it, that's fine. That's you. If you want to stick and watch one program, that's you. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you to do anything. I'm not even here to force people to watch NXT on a Sunday. I don't care if you watch the show or not. What I care about is, do you? But know that you have options. Those wrestlers have options. Let's stop sticking them in a box. Oh, they're only good in WWE. No, they're not. Oh, they're only good in this promotion. No, they're not. They're good wherever they go. It is what they make of themselves. That's the thing you should be paying attention to. That's the thing you should care about. That's it. That's that. End of that rant. Thank you for watching. I'm glad the algorithm brought you here. That's exciting to hear. This is what we wanted. This is what we're doing. This is what we're aiming for. So, back to that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Listen, Adam is doing an amazing job. Adam is doing a good job. He's not beating them age allegations. Now he's a champion. He's doing great. Good for him. He said he was free when he went to AEW. That's the type of energy that every wrestler should have. It shouldn't feel like a tribalism thing. It should feel like a freedom thing. You're free to do whatever you want. If he shows up, though, in a local indie wrestling event and I didn't know about it, I'm going to be upset. Be a little bothered. Y'all need to let me know if that ever happens. So much going in. When we come back, we are going to talk about a little bit of what's happening in NXT, who I think is next up. After this commercial break, we are going to go through predictions, and I'm going to let everybody get ready, get game, get hyped, get excited for this big match that's coming up, this big PLE that's coming up. The first NIL signing to be an NXT champion, which is the NXT North American Championship. He was the first breakout tournament star from the NIL to win the breakout tournament. And a lot of people thought he was definitely going to wait in the cups for the NXT champion. But listen, greatness waits for no one. When an open opportunity comes, it comes. If Lexus King could sit here and go on WordPad and create that dumbass contract, because who the hell put him in the number 1 contendership in the first place?
Not even Microsoft Word.
He tried it. Notepad. He tried it. Like, how you going to try and do that? Yeah. And it's like, it's just a part of him being a menace. But what I liked, right, was that Obafemi was trying to make himself known. And let's just came out, blame you. You should have never cut the man off. Because now he's watching. And now he's saying that the minute that, and it's funny, because the minute that he asks homegirl, that championship is the main event for the night. I already knew in his brain, because you know that's the brother. So we've now changed some color. Let me see if I can get some. You know, I got these lights a couple of months ago, and I've been playing with them because I really I love this. Like, don't you shout out in the comments. Tell me what y'all think of these colors behind me. I think they're growing on me. Here and there. But I like messing with them a little bit when I want to change the scenery because we're about to go into predictions. There we go. Going to predictions right there with these colors behind me. So what do I think is going to happen tonight? And this was honestly a tough call for me to make because last time I said somebody was supposed to win their belt back, they actually lost it because I was rooting for Becky Lynch at King and Queen of the Ring, and Homegirl lost it to Liv. And I blame Dom. I blame Dominic. I blame you. You too busy cheating on mommy, not helping that girl keep her belt. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other show. Maybe I need to sound off on school sessions. Let's see what happens. The first match I'm going to get into prediction-wise is the North American Championship. You have, again, Obafemi, Wesley, and Joe Coffey going after that title. Listen, as much as I would like for it to be Wesley, I think he's going to come up short. But I think he's going to come up short because it's 3 people involved, not a one-on-one. You give this boy a one-on-one opportunity for that belt, and he's going to get it back. If it was a one-on-one match with just him and Oba, I don't even think it would happen tonight. I think it would happen like Tuesday night on the USA Network. I don't think that right now. I understand it's like a comeback story waiting to happen. But listen, if you watch what I loved about the movie, I'm going to get into what I loved about King Richard, right? The movie about Venus and Serena's father. What I loved is that they didn't show the girls winning. They didn't even show who was supposed to be the best. He was focused on Venus because Venus was the first to win up that title. And in their first tournament, they lost. They actually lost. But what I enjoyed about that movie is showed that, listen, this might have been the first time they lost, but this is just to show you that their hard work had paid off. They got that far. And the end of the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, they actually show that the people were waiting outside for Venus to sign and get to know who she is. And then now when you look at that movie, and that's how the movie ends, you think about all the great things that Venus and Serena have gone on to done. Grand Slam champions, French Open championship winners, U.S. Open title holders. You think of all the great things they've done. A few losses don't mean anything. So when I think of Wesley possibly winning, a lot of people want Wesley to have it back. I just don't see that happening tonight, unfortunately. Coffee has been great. I'm glad you're visiting. But also, a lot of people were saying that, listen, they didn't think the Gallows Brothers would become tag team championships until he showed back up. But again, I think this is going to Oba, and I think that's that. I could be wrong. Lord knows I could be wrong because I'm rooting for it to be Wesley so bad, but my money is on Obafemi. That's it. That's all there is, and that's how it's going to be. Next, we're going to go into the tag team championship. Also, shout out to all the tag team championships except one on the line. I think that's great that they kept up that tradition. Let's get into the fact that I think that this could be the hill that Nathan and Axiom needs to climb in order to be champs. Again, I do think they're going to retain tonight. I could be wrong because, again, the Good Brothers put up a good fight. But they talk too much for me. They're talking too much for the game. I know they're talented together. I know they're powerful. But those belts need to stay on Axiom and Nathan a whole lot longer. If they are going to give those belts to Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, it's going to be because they think that someone else like Malik and Idris need to take it off of them to reestablish the tag team division. It needs to stop being homegrown champions making that belt what it is. So if it is going to be a loss tonight, if it is going to be a Good Brothers night, if it is going to be an OC night, it's for that. They need to reestablish the tag team down at NXT. The Good Brothers need to drop that belt to people that are legit been together as tag teams from day one. If they, Dusty Tag Team Classic, I like it. It was great. It fed a feud. When it came to Mello and Trick, it turned friends into enemies between Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. I love that it did that. I'll take no harm, no foul against that. But if we're going to push the actual established tag team era back to where it needs to be, somebody needs to take that belt off to give it to somebody else. So I would prefer for it to be is Axiom and Nathan Frazier. But tonight's loss, if it's the OC that wins, it would be only because they're going to put those belts on an established tag team. That's it. That's my prediction. I do think Axiom and Nathan are going to take the hold on this one. But let's see. The win tonight determines on how the landscape of the tag team division will change. Point blank period. Next up, well, I'm saving that one for last. So next up, you actually have the Battleground Underground match between Lola Vice and Shayna Baszler, and my money's on Lola. Lola needs this win. Lola needs to prove that she's no joke. Lola needs to prove that the dancing is kind of like, a mermaid swimming out to sea. She's literally just mesmerizing you with her dance, and then she's going to kick your head off. That's what I need for her to prove. The only way she's going to prove that she can really be a top girl in NXT is beating the people who were once great in NXT. She already did that with Natty. She could do it with Shayna. So my money is on Shayna, possibly doing all she can to tap her out. But my money's on Lola. Lola doesn't need this loss. Lola losing at this point would actually make me upset because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, okay, she learned, like, she spent all that time with you learning nothing enough to lose. It's not like the whole thing with Natty, where Natty didn't have that much background in Battleground and MMA, so where she had she needed to study to win. It was more of like, Shayna just needed someone as tough as Natty to be in her corner in case shit went left and to take Carmen out. Now there's none of that. What this loss will do if Lola does lose is just bring down her street cred even less, because she already lost a little bit of her pointer by losing the breakout tournament contract the way she lost it. She needs the boost. This is her boost. She needs to do it. She needs to do it properly. In my opinion, like I said, I don't think Shayna needs this win in particular. I understand, listen, you were made in the underground. That's perfectly fine. You don't need to win this match. You don't need to win it. You just don't. Like, and I great and great that it's set up in the UFC Apex. You don't need to win this match. She doesn't need to win this match. And that's just my fair opinion on that. So Lola's my take on a win on this one. Yeah, the loss on that would just make just about 0 cents. Like, really 0 cents. There's just so much Lola is my next up sometimes, because she proves that she has that aura, like, Cuban fiery, like she admitted, like she's like, I like to have fun. They need to just stop putting her in teams because she don't do teams well. Leave her alone. She's proven time and time again she don't do teams well. Let's not fix a broken clock that don't want to chime when the alarm goes off. Just stop. But I think that in all fairness, give her this win. Like, give somebody the boost of, I beat all the good people. Like, who else you got for me? If I'm cleaning the house, I'm cleaning the house. Give it the Kenny Omega effect. Because Kenny Omega was cleaning them old, new, freshly squeezed, expired. Any wrestler that came in his way, he called himself the cleaner. He wasn't calling it for no reason. So give her that effect. Why not? Let her have an undefeated streak. These people that are from the other rosters are going to come and do that. You should be giving them the win. I understand you want them to have an obstacle. They should be having the win at all costs. If we're going to be really frank, if we're trying to develop people, give them that one loss. But major matches like that, they need to have that hometown advantage. You need to have that home state advantage. And I think this is the match that she has that home state advantage is. Next, going to go for the let's see. Let me get into this match right here. Because this is the match where I mean, obviously Roxanne's going home with that belt. Everybody should just watch this match to see how much of a slobber knock it's going to be. Because Jordynne Grace is tough. She's not even built tough, but just made tough. Like, she was made tough. You know how difference is between built different and made different? She just made different. She was made in an interesting way around actual wrestlers who helped to condition in TNA. TNA is just not your typical wrestling, promotion. It's a place that legends went to rest. It's a place that people who were released rebuilt themselves. If it wasn't for TNA, people like Drew McIntyre may have not taken themselves seriously. Drew McIntyre was released, went on circuit, did TNA, was very critical in TNA, was a champion in TNA. Now he went back to WWE. He started from the bottom. He went to the developmental brand, did great things in NXT, came back to the main roster, started from scratch, became a champion. He's scoured the multiverse. You got somebody like Trinity, who didn't think she was being taken seriously, who was made in WWE, left WWE, went to Impact, became the champion, worked her ass off, fought Jordynne Grace, said, okay, my time is done. I've learned what it is to truly wrestle. I know what I want. I know my value now. Going back to WWE, back in WWE ever since. Both these women have both been in TNA. Jordynne Grace was built in Impact. Now TNA. This match is going to just show you what being made looks like. Roxanne Perez made in the wrestling world, made in Ring of Honor, done so many things as a young champion. She's going to win this match, but it's going to have people gain a whole lot of respect for her heel character, because she will literally have that I will stop at nothing to keep this title this time attitude. The only funny scenario I think would happen is if she loses and then answers that open call and says, I want both your belts. Since you want to come after me, I'm going to come after you. I would love to see that. Because it would also be a great homecoming for Roxanne to go back to TNA, because TNA, again, is one of the places that she wrestled. And you saw that little back and forth. Jordan was like, oh, did you win your belt? And I think that's even a call to, she really might just show up in TNA and be like, since you want to play on me, I'm going to play with you back. So, again, the victory, I think, definitely goes to Roxanne. I think this is going to be a great match. Yes, she's navigating the multiverse, as people have. Shelton Benjamin even went to Japan and came right back. And he's not in WWE no more right now either. So Dolph Ziggler did a whole week spree. He was 1 week he was in TNA, the next he was in Japan. He was all over the place. You got somebody like Mustafa Ali, who in Mustafa We Trust is right now your X Division Championship, after someone who also said that WWE was a place he didn't think he would ever be without. Listen, we've wanted this for so long. And it didn't happen on the main roster. It happened at NXT for a reason. They're trying to see how this shit goes. It's your test run. It's the best test run you can possibly ever put on. I don't even care who wins this match. I'm just invested in the fact that we have a line crossed, the way that we wanted our lines crossed for a very long time. We've dreamed of TNA superstars being able to wrestle WWE superstars. Listen, most of you niggas believe that Joe Henry should be wrestling somebody like freaking Lexus King. Somebody even said that at one point he should be the one annoying Drew McIntyre. Listen, that's the kind of energy that we want. It's more of what we need. So this match, again, I think Roxanne retains. However, I think personally that match is going to steal the show along with this one. I'm going to leave that one for last. I want to add to the stage this match. You have Trick Williams versus Ethan Page. The way he came in, Ethan Page came in, was the smartest thing. That contract being a contract that he literally said, listen, I'm not just here for the title. I'm going to end this era. I'm going to end this Trick era. But you're looking at somebody like Trick Williams, who's had enough of standing the sidelines. Everybody who everybody else told him was better than him. And now he's like, no, I'm going to prove that I'm better than everyone else. I'm just as good as everyone else. There's going to be a fight for Trick's life. There's going to be a hard, like, he fought against Ilya Dragunov, and we were like, holy hell, he stood. It's like, again, also, yeah, thinking that in mind, this is somebody who literally got the beat broken off of them by Ilya Dragunov and said, I'm going to go in the second time, I'm going to get that belt back. And guess what he did? He got that belt back. He got that belt. So who's to say that Ethan Page, I understand, is a very good, I believe this is his second opponent, a very good opponent, and somebody who's never been to NXT, somebody who Trick hasn't even sampled a match with him yet. And this is his first match with him. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be interesting to see. But my money is always on Trick. My money's going on Trick. My predictions may be made way off because, like, again, this PLE is going to change the landscape of NXT 1,000%. However, if we're talking about the same guy who literally had his living city behind him and stand deliver, if we're talking about somebody who literally gained the love and admiration of the NXT universe, if we're talking about somebody who literally said, I'm not going to stop at nothing to have this belt, I'm the A champion now, and I'm going to do what it is to Ben, this will be the greatest test to his championship reign ever. He don't want it to be short, he's going to fight for it. He don't want it to go in vain, he's going to fight for it. It's going to be great. I'm excited to see Ethan Page work this program with Trick. I'm excited that he's in WWE. I can't see what happens after this match. If he becomes the NXT champion, it's also going to put more legitimacy back on that belt. I don't know if it's going to happen because, like I said, my biggest factor in this is now that we know who attacked Trick, who really attacked Metaphor. We don't know where Noam Dar's head's going to be. He may turn on Trick Williams and help Ethan win and make him a member of Metaphor. He may say, you think this is a game, you took the opportunity I was supposed to have at Battleground, and now I'm going to take it from you. You never know what's going to happen, but I think at the end of the day, Trick wins. Point blank, period. Let's get to the match that I think is going to steal the show before we close out. We're getting into the Women's North American Championship between these 6 beautiful, illustrious women, as my boy brother is Justin Rich would say. And you guys, I'm at a standstill. I don't know who I think is going to win. If you're watching this from X, feel free to retweet and comment your predictions. I will read them off. I just don't know. Like, this is crazy. I really don't know who's going to win. And you know what's scary about that? All these women deserve it. All of them deserve it. I be joking, but I'm literally like, if I see Kalani Jordan lose one more thing, I'm going to flip the table. I will Teresa Giudice the table so quick because I think she wins. I think she's always been my next up because it's like you need that energy. Like she like, listen, if Kelly had curly hair, there's your girl. She says she reminds Rob Van Dam. She's a showstopper. I think that's great in her. I think that Jada Parker is just naturally like something different, and it's not just look, it's attitude. Like she's got that attitude that you need to be in WWE. You got somebody like Soroka who's like a walking highlight reel. Soroka is a walking highlight reel in the making. You got somebody like Fallon who's realizing that I'm tired of being by myself. I'm tired of caring about everybody but myself. I'm gonna do me by myself. But my money is for someone who deserves it. You got 2 people that deserve it. You got Lash Legend, me and Yim. I don't even know. I don't even know who's gonna win. It'll be funny if they kick this PLE off with this match. I will also again Teresa Giudice's table because why are you gonna do that to us? This is gonna be if they kick this off for this match. It's going to be an interesting match. It's gonna be a long match. I think it goes. I don't even know if I'm going to say the right person. I think it goes to Fallon. And I hate to go against my sisters, but I think it goes to Fallon. It makes... we're talking about like, and shout out to Wilkins who put that idea in my head. We're talking about workhorse titles. Like workhorse right there and there. Been there since the 2.0 days. Her first match, Tiffany Strat. First match, lost that first match with Tiffany Strat. Went on, became a stable, has done it all already. What else is there for her to have at NXT but that belt? Nothing at all. She deserves that belt. Her, if not her, then it's Lash. Because at the end of the day, I understand they don't want to give anybody credit where it's due. Maybe they don't care about longevity of a brand. You have those two ladies that literally, you would not have this new 2.0 and beyond era of NXT if it wasn't for those ladies being so heavily involved with the process. You want to give somebody what they deserve, you give it to one of those two. But right now, as a first, it has to be Fallon. Fallon didn't go through this change of fucking with of messing with Thea Hale, right? And say she's on her own and forget about Briggs and push her personal feelings to the side to be at the top to not get this belt. She deserves it. She's also somebody who came so close that never got it. This is her got it. It needs to go to Fallon Henley. And like I said, I don't like to go up against my sisters. I don't want to get in trouble for going up against my sisters. I might be a Vic, I might be a snitch, but it has to go to Fallon Henley. It has to. The it shock factor for me, if it don't go to Fallon and it goes to Kalani, I would not be upset because they keep pushing this girl to the moon. It would set up some great storylines that have not continued. A lot of people are jealous of her. I think that will continue that narrative, and I think it needs to continue that narrative. So if it's not Fallon, it's Kalani. But my betting chips are on Fallon Henley. For the purpose that if you want workhorses to have that title and go back and forth with it, there's a horse you gotta take it off of first. And it's her. And this pay-per-view is going to be good. This is going to be a good PLE. A great mid segue into Heat Wave. I don't know if they're going to do another 4TV. I need to do a NXT Watch What Happens Live for all the PLEs they should bring back. I have not heard them bring back In Your House. I think they have, because they changed the venue for Battleground. I think the bet was to have Battleground have the Great American Bash. Hasn't happened yet. A lot of matches haven't happened, but I think it's great that Heat Waves is returning and happening in Toronto. I'm so excited about that. But a lot hasn't happened for the NXT brand, but I like that they're switching off. They gave you 2 nights of Halloween Havoc. They gave you Roadblock, which was great. They gave you 2 weeks. They're giving you 2 weeknights of pay-per-views. Spring Breakin' was great for 2 weeks. I think that Battleground is great that it's going to Vegas. I think that Heat Wave in Toronto is going to be lit. I think that Great American Bash is probably going to be a 4TV PLE for 2 nights. And I think that they, like I said, need to start rounding out NXT in big 4 weekends. The way they did Stand and Deliver, the way they're doing Money in the Bank, I'm hoping that they announce something for SummerSlam weekend coming up. I know it's short minute. I know Cleveland's already set and ready to go, but I think they should definitely do something at SummerSlam. Perfect. Great American Bash should definitely be at SummerSlam. In Your House or something should be at SummerSlam weekend. Give people more wrestling on big PLE weekends, because you don't want to come to this big event and then have nothing to do the next day. No, continue to party. Make me go to work on late Monday. But with all of that being said, it is time for me to close the show like the champ I am. Listen, thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in on a Sunday. You guys don't have to be here. You probably watching on your phone at brunch. You guys are probably home, kicking on, getting ready for work. But I appreciate each and every one of you for being on this live show. It's exciting. Listen, A lot of lineups getting finalized. A lot of people I want to bring on the show that I know are also passionate about NXT. A lot of things working on Watch What Happens NXT. Y'all just wait. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a fan of NXT. It's a good time to watch. Listen, Sexy Red, do your thing, girl. Live my dream, okay? Because I wish one day I could host NXT and appear. But never say never. That might be me one day. I can't drop it to a split in the middle of the ring, but I know I could be funny, and I know I could be fun, and I know I could root for the boys. So let's just see what happens. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in on Sunday. If you're not tuning in on Sunday, you're tuning in on Tuesdays at 6:15 sharp on the Those Wrestling Girls channel and my personal channels as well. Other countries have been tapping into my Twitch. Thank you, guys. I didn't know I could reach in different countries. It's been interesting because most of my demographics when I checked came from the UK and from Africa. I'm gonna take it where I can get it, and I'm happy about it. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm so excited about tonight. Shout out to all of you for tuning in and dropping your predictions. If your predictions change, I don't forgive you. I will definitely forgive you. I'm sorry. But I'm excited. I wore my own by Femi shirt, as you can see, backed by Destiny, because I felt that. There's so much going on. Wednesdays, we have fan club coming back. We're back. We're stronger and sexier than ever. Shout out to Queen PR, Is Justin Rich, Mr. Brian H. Waters. Shout out to him on Tuesdays. Shout out to the Ringer Wrestling Show being on Tuesdays now, Wrestling Worldwide. Shout out to him, Kaz Ben, Shoemaker, and Kaz, who are holding things down at Ringer Wrestling. Shout out to them. They're on Tuesdays now. Shout out to them because they had a great interview with Jada Park and it got me more an analysis of who she really is as a wrestler. So if you want to tune into that, make sure you're listening to that podcast. Shout out to the girls for having fan club, also doing some great interviews coming up with Those Wrestling Girls. You have School of Sessions with Krista B, Pablo the Don, and Krista Contreras. Every Friday. We got a lot going on. We have a lot of big things coming on. Might be heading for another collision because we haven't linked up since WrestleMania. Thirsty Thursdays is also coming up. I believe it's always on Thursdays once a month. So look out for that. We have a good time. So don't be afraid to drop by. I'm going to head out of here. Going to also predict tonight one last thing. That you will see an appearance from someone UFC related. You might even see Julia show up. You might see a lot of people show up to the Apex Center because NXT is going to be that gateway to WWE, and I see a lot of people showing up and showing support for that brand. So, without further ado, I'm going to close it out with my graphics, actually. And all these things that are happening, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. I can't wait to see you guys next time. I can't wait to see you guys. Hopefully I see you guys on Tuesday. And you can react with me on Twitter. I'll be on Twitter. Don't forget to also follow Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. It's just like that. It's Watch What Happens NXT on Instagram. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow to everything on the streaming platforms. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.